Okay, so I'm going to be talking about drinking and driving. Okay, so imagine yourself out with friends, and you've had maybe too much to drink, you're having a good time, and then you hear last call. You rush to the bar, grab a few shots, let the night start to dwindle down, saying your goodbye to your friends, and having that last minute life-changing decision to make. Do you drive home, call an Uber, walk? Well, let's just hope it's the latter. Every day, 28 people in America die in motor vehicle crashes that involve an alcohol-impaired driver. That equals to one death every 53 minutes. We need to educate others, and let them know the severity of bad drunk decisions. In a society that is changing ever so fast, we have to make conscientious decisions regardless of the situation. About 1 in every 3 people will be in a drunk driving crash in their lifetime, according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. In 2014, 9,967 people were killed in alcohol-impaired crashes, accounting for nearly 1/3, that's 31%, of all traffic-related deaths in the United States. That's a high risk considering our population here in the United States. Drinking and driving is seemingly decreasing as we progress in time. However, as teens are getting older, it's important to spread the word about drunk driving and to always have a safe ride home, no matter how fine you feel. With such high casualties, something has to be done. Here in America, the consequences that follow drinking and driving are quite severe, though specifics differ in the state. Penalties often include suspensions, fines, breathalyzer in your vehicle, and some jail time. I can speak upon personal experience. I know that's bad to say, but from getting a few DUIs, it's not pleasant. So let me explain to you my first DUI in Kansas. Christmas 2007. It was a cold night, and after I had our family Christmas, it was time to go hang with friends. We went to a party where I got really intoxicated. Although I had the option to stay with my friends at my friend's house, I was being stubborn and not listening to their advice. So I just took my keys and got in my car and drove 20 minutes home. I don't remember most of the night, except that I was in no shape to drive. I was found at 4:30 a.m. in a ditch off the highway. My car was totaled, my airbags deployed, and I had no recollection of what happened. I was woken up by a police officer that thought I was pretty much dead at the scene. After making sure I wasn't injured, I was taken to jail. I woke up to my dad picking me up the next morning to go grab my things for my car. As time progressed, it was one big mistake that I didn't want to ever happen again. In consequence, I was court-ordered to an alcohol evaluation, spend 3 days in jail, and attend the DUI victim impact panel, which honestly is really sad, and supervision costs. I spent about $7,000 in fines and court fees. It could have went something greater than that for sure. I feel like if I would have known how much damage a DUI can do to your life, I would have stayed at my friends that night. We just need to more educate to our teens and young adults before they are off in the real world with no one to turn to when they've had too much to drink. DUI checkpoints are a great way to stop people from drinking and driving too. In due time, I have learned my lesson and hope that I have influenced others to not drink and drive. If I could ask one thing from my listeners, please don't get behind the wheel after a night of drinking. It can cost you much more than you think. Your life, someone else's life, and your freedom are at stake. It is much more of a problem than you realize. You don't want to be held responsible for killing someone else's loved one and end up with that on your record and your conscience.